into brutal scenes, screams of pain, chaos machine, kick out crew, we're ready for the fight, breaking bones, taking it to the height. In the face of darkness, we rise as one. With every blow, our spirit won't be undone. KOC is here, never back down. Bring the pain, you better feel our crowd. Down songs on kicking it into gear, bodies collide, the pain is crystal clear. Kick out into the battle's just begun. We'll fight till the end, we won't be undone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fun-filled episode of your show. That's right, it's the Kickout Crew. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I want to thank everybody for last week's episode where we got introduced to some Lucha Underground. We enjoyed it. Hope you did too. Thanks for all the positive feedback, your questions, comments, and everything. Lucha Underground, heavily underrated in my opinion. And hey, the more wrestling you discover, the better it is. Want to be sure to, give us a like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is on all of your social media platforms. Kickout Crew on those said platforms. Be sure to watch our episodes on Premier Wrestling, YouTube, and their app. And want to welcome everybody to another fun episode. Hope everybody had a great week. And what better way than to just get this rolling? Shout out Mike, feel better. He's not with us this week. And yeah, I guess that's enough of me intro in the episode. So Brad, looks like you're up next. What we got this week?
I'm going to talk about two things. One, Brian, if you could show this picture, please.
Uh-oh.
All right. So this is a vending machine at my work currently. We're doing a remodel, and this is a vending machine at work. Now, apparently this is not unusual. Okay. We have been in the cash only vending machine, and now we have Apple Pay and credit cards on the vending machine. So attention debit card users, your bank will place a hold on your account greater than the amount to purchase one or multiple items in a single vending transaction. Or vend transaction, I apologize. This hold amount will be updated to reflect the actual transaction amount within 24 to 78 hours, depending on the policy of your bank. Your final charge amount will be only for the items vended. Any questions regarding your bank's policy on account hold should be directed to your bank. I've never seen this before. I welcome the idea of having a debit card and Apple Pay, Google Pay on vending machines. However, the charge is $4.50, which you will not get back for 24 to 72 hours. Is this a big deal? It is a big deal because I'm going to tell you right now, no one's reading this. Okay. No one is reading this. And it's already been a pain in the ass having a vending machine when like someone comes to me and says, it ate my dollar, it ate my quarter. I don't know. I'm a car salesman. I'm not a vending machine repairman. Okay. This is an issue because it's going to be, yes, you're going to get the money back, but hitting your card for a 75-cent bag of chips for $4.50 that you may not see 72 hours later. This is a problem. Why is this? Why can't this be solved? If I buy a 75-cent item at Wawa or Sheetz, wherever you're from, it's 75 cents. That's it. Why would this be any different? What do you guys think?
I wanted you to read the screen part.
Oh, no, have a nice day.
That's not what that says.
That's what it does say, but I got it in movement.
Have and seed.
I feel like it's something you would see.
Have an iced. It sounds like it says have an iced. Iced cold refreshing beverage, like Natural Light.
See,
I just think it. Go ahead.
That's crazy because with cash out, if you go to like a gas pump and use like your cash out card, a lot of times it'll empty your account for an hour or two, and then it puts the money back onto your cash out card.
Funny you say that, Adam.
That's happened to the kids a bunch of times.
That's
Funny you
sketchy
say
as
that. It
shit.
happened. It happened to my daughter Kendall. It hit her for $120
It
on
took
her.
like 24 hours to come back.
She said it's instant, but that's a scary moment. That's a scary instant.
Yeah.
Why? I guess I just need to know the ins and outs of why this is something like what they're thinking. I don't know. I don't understand why they can't fix something like this. Apple Pay is Apple Pay. If it's in there, it's in there. It's not, it's not. Hit it for the amount. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You don't get it. You don't get the 75 cents. So anyway,
We have
that's
a
all
vending
for that.
machine at work. It does a $3 hold.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I had a situation similar to this one time when I was getting gas. I was getting gas and I checked my phone at the same time. Like went on my phone, like my bank app, checked my account and said like minus $75 from Sunoco. And I was like, I haven't even entered the thing yet. At that point I pushed the button, but I hadn't like started actually pumping gas yet. So I just pressed cancel and put everything back and went inside and started complaining, like asking the question more than complaining. The lady told me the same thing, like it's just a hold. Like as soon as you pump your gas, the $75 will go back in, and they'll just take the original charge out.
Yeah, here's the thing. $4.50, 90% of the world probably not gonna be a problem. $75 on a child's account, it could be more than what's in that account. Then what? Does the bank hit you for a overdraft limit like charge? I think these things need to be taken into consideration sometimes. You know, $4.50 probably not. $75 could very well be more than somebody has in their account. Really,
I would be absolutely pissed if my bank gave me an overdraft charge on a hold. You know, where the 70. Let's say you had like 40 in your account. Boom, you hit that 75, so it goes like negative 35. And then they hit you with an overdraft, and then the next day that money's back on there. I'd be fucking furious.
Back when I was in college, you know, debit cards were sort of new. They were called a Mac machine, actually, and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you this: there were times when I had $40 to my name and I used $20 for gas or beer. I'll tell you that. So I'm just saying, there was a time in my life when I didn't have $75. I promise you. Just saying. All right, I'm gonna talk about something a little more serious now. Not that serious, Adam. Relax. It is kind of serious, actually. In a situation recently, you guys know that I went to Effie's Big Gay Brunch. I was pretty excited with the environment. I was born in 1976, which is a very different time than 2024. All right. Things were very, very different in 1976 with something like Effie's Big Gay Brunch to where it is today. Right. Obviously, the world is much more accepting. I'm a different person completely. Just a lot of knowledge and understanding and realizing that, you know, whatever makes everybody happy is whatever makes everybody happy. But that isn't true, is it? Because not everybody's understanding. Not everybody's happy. So recently I was around, it was just a public setting, a bunch of guys I kind of half know were around, and a trans woman was there. And these guys just could not stop talking about it, could not stop approaching me about it, could not stop being loud about it. So I just came here to say that things have not changed. Maybe in certain environments, they're safe environments, but in most of the world, this person is being sneered at, laughed at, maybe even assaulted verbally, physically. So I just ask everybody to, even if you don't agree with the situation, just mind your own business and just shut your mouth. Because it's so, you know, you have your opinions, that's fine. But just being a show off and smacking your mouth around and saying things, you're just making yourself look like an ass and an uneducated one at that. So it bothered me, and I just wanted to get it out there. So
imagine being raised in the South.
Yeah, and
Right.
in
the South.
I'm in the Northeast. Probably more accepting than most of the South with this kind of thing. I would agree. So just saying, man, it's not affecting your life. Just move on.
Bingo. Like, let them live, man. Like if they're like out of control, like confrontational about it, that's different. But if they're just like fucking existing, like, let them be, you know?
Let's just say this, James, being nothing but nice and actually ignoring everybody around her.
Because if those people, like, let's say those people walked into a room and everybody just like jeered at them and fucking poked fun at them, like, they would hate that and they would feel shitty. Like, just fucking let them. Who cares?
I was uncomfortable because I didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
The situation. But I felt like people kept coming to me and wanted to talk about it. I'm out. And you guys, I didn't hide where I was that time. I have not hidden that at all. I put it on Facebook. You know.
It is pretty juvenile, honestly. You know.
And it kills me how people think they're above everybody and can judge people and look down on people. Like, look, if you feel like whatever they're doing is wrong, then let them pay for it in the long run. If they're in the wrong, let them be wrong. Who cares? It doesn't affect you.
No.
If your
I have a
beliefs are one way and you think it's different, whatever. Good for your beliefs. They have their beliefs. I have mine. Whatever. Just let everybody be, man. They're not bothering me. I'm not bothering them. You do you. I do me. Everybody leave each other alone and let everybody live their own life.
Exactly. And it
I
is
have two. Sorry. I have two transgender cousins, and I can't be happier for them that they're happy in their own skin now.
Bingo.
And
I
that's
ref
the
one of
main
the-
point.
I
They're
ref
happy.
one of the first transgender, like out there in Pro South. It was the first transgender versus transgender wrestling match. I was like the ref for that match. I thought it was a pretty damn big deal. Because, I mean, I didn't think about it at the time. I was like, damn, that's the first time transgender versus transgender has been one-on-one. And I got to be the referee for that. So I thought it was a pretty big deal.
Devin, I also have a situation like that as well. Yeah, it's fine. It's a happier situation for everybody. So,
well, and the mental anguish that they probably went through, like, you know, and now they are like out or whatever, and like everybody's accepting and all, or, you know, most people are accepting, and maybe that's helps their mental, you know, like instead of just
What's wrong
covering
with
it up
somebody
all the
being
time.
happy? What's wrong
Exactly.
What's wrong with
What if,
that?
what if they had a terrible life, like just, you know, conflicted in their head and all that stuff, and now they're actually happy and, you know, being productive people and all that stuff.
just wanted to get that out there. It was something that was eating away at me. That's all I got this week. All right, let's turn this frown upside down. Back to you, James.
Hell yeah, I like it. You know what I really like is what you put on the outline for Mike, and too bad he's not here, but for those at home, I'll go ahead and read it. Blank sheet of paper champion, Mike. Awesome, awesome title.
The next one's even better.
That is true. And what is the next one? It's Adam's Atomic Monkey eats buttercream icing. So, Adam, take it away.
Which is the best icing anyway.
Absolutely.
So, and the funny thing is, I've been having to watch my intake and stuff. So, as much as I would love to eat buttercream icing, I can't right now. Because I'm
Buttercream
having-
Dream Champion. Skew.
apparently, I have high triglycerides or something like that. So I have to watch what I eat for now. Yay,
Education.
you're getting older. Yay. But no, usually I do like the review stuff, whatever happened last week, whatever. I don't feel like doing that. I want to do something that's going to make me happy, which is, as we record this last weekend, I was in Atlanta in the MLW.
No way.
Backstage. Yep, sure was. If you watch the championship match, you'll see streamers. I was one of the streamer throwers. The one that got thrown the
Yeah.
best, that was me. I was the best thrower.
God damn, you see
And-
that one streamer flying like perfect? I bet
And
Adam
shout
took
out,
that one.
I know y'all don't know
The
this
red
guy,
one.
but his name is AJ. He was kind of over the ring crew guys. If you go back and watch the championship match, you'll see two streamers. The very first two streamers get thrown, they hit at his feet. Didn't even make it halfway to the ring. So AJ, you terrible throw, and you should be ashamed of yourself. He said, I can't even go home. He said, I'm gonna get laughed at when I go home. I can't even face my family after that throw. But amazing time, man. I got to meet like y'all already know, but got to meet Matt Riddle. Let's see here, half the daggone roster. I got to meet Sin Cara or Mystico without his mask. That was crazy. I mean, he's just a normal guy. I mean, if he didn't have his mask, you wouldn't even know it. I mean, it's just a normal Joe going down the road. He's amazing, man. Minoru Suzuki, got to meet him. Super sweet guy. That was the crazy part.
Does he speak English?
A little bit. He's kind of like a lot of the other Japanese guys. And I can't remember the champion's name.
Come on. Come on.
I can't remember. It's in my mind and I can't remember. Help me out. I know one of y'all know it. Come on. I'm surprised Devyn don't know it.
He does know it. The MLW champion, Devin. Come on.
Is it Kojima?
Yes. So
Sweet.
he come
Satoshi
in.
Kojima.
Yeah,
Kojima.
super sweet guy. And we're putting the ring together. He stops and chats with us, talks to all of us in the line. Just couldn't have been nicer. Matt Riddle, just everything he is in the ring, that's how he is backstage. Super awesome. Shout out to Carmen Michael. He got to be one of the Aztec Lucha guys. I got a mask, so I thought that was awesome. Not sure if I
Was
supposed to-
Dario there?
Who?
Dario Cueto?
Matter of fact, it's funny how we do one of the Lucha Underground matches, and then I go to MLW, and there he is, and he introduced himself as his real name, and it was super awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody there was just amazing people. They're coming back in September, and I got invited to come back and help, so that's something I'm looking forward to. But
Did you get
as
to
we
meet his
record-
daughter, Selena De La Renta?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
yes, I got to meet
Hello,
her. She was
ladies.
That came out on the pay-per-view. That was insane.
Roll Tide. You know that? Yeah, I got to meet
Yeah,
her.
she's roll tide. Was she have blue hair still?
No, it was like a brunette.
All right, whatever. All good. All hairstyles are good. No, she's a big part of the show, man.
But I mean, like the whole just got to say hello to Court Bauer. He, from my understanding, he was impressed with the ring crew guys. Like more complimentary than he has been in the past about past ring crew guys. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And then coming up this weekend, as we record, today's the 6th. So tomorrow, July 7th, I've been invited to come referee in Mobile, Alabama at Diamond Championship Wrestling for Scott Armstrong's organization.
And that's all I got to say about that.
And that's on TV.
Oh wait, that's Greenbow.
So it's local channels down there in the Gulf Shore area. I think it's like the Gulf Coast CW. There's like a local ABC affiliate that they're on. So they're paying for gas, food, all that stuff. So it's like one of my business.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
They asked me what your rate was, and I was like, well, let me figure up gas. And he threw out a number, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Yeah. And then they don't have the regular red or black and white stripes. They have blue and black.
Cool.
So that's gonna be I think I get another T-shirt, so or ref shirt. So that's awesome. So there's a lot going on. So I don't worry about the stuff in the past. I'm kind of looking forward to the future. So that's it. That's all I got. Just
No, that's awesome, Adam. I'm happy for you, man. MLW, I miss it, man. You know, I probably went to about 4 shows while they was in Philly every weekend or every month, and I'm like, now I don't get any. They left.
Dude, Mark Henry being there was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
You know, Teddy Long was awesome. Xavier Woods.
Yeah, what? Who stooged him out?
I don't know.
The
I
guy that
was weird.
stooged it, weren't you?
But he was there with his wife, his kids. We didn't even talk about wrestling. I got to talk to him. We talked about fatherhood, being a dad, because his kids are still young. They're like, I think 7 and 5, 7 and 4, I think is what he said. But he was there with one of the guys in the riot.
That's
So,
awesome. I love Battle Riot, man. Battle Riot's fun.
That's my first one. The first one I got to see.
Yeah, I saw Battle Riot 3 I've talked to you guys about before when the Meanie came out, and that was the one that Hammerstone won. I enjoyed it. And that was the first MLW show I'd ever been to. So I guess that's 3 years ago, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely amazing. Of course, when the riot started, there was everybody was running around. I got to do ring gear, you know, whenever they come out, like Mystico's championship, the middleweight championship. I got to take it to the locker room, snuck a picture with it, so that was great. Super nice belt. Just all around great experience. And like I said, they'll be back in September. It was the center stage in Atlanta. So, you know, me and James and Mike went there a year or two ago for TNA. So
yeah, tickets
it's
went to my
awesome.
phone, and I'm like, I can't go to this. Like I thought, oh great, Bill. Nope.
So it's a lot going on, man. Staying busy. New South's got a show, so after I go to Mobile, Friday. It's 4.5 hours there, 4.5 back. I got a show for New South the very next day. So busy.
Awesome.
Can't wait, man.
No, it's awesome, dude. I'm happy for you, Adam.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Center stage is surreal. Like,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was
just
awesome, man. It's like
sitting
the
there and being
perfect-
like,
Perfect
Hey.
venue.
hey, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and all them used to do shit like right there. Like right there.
And there's no bad seats, is there, James? There's
Nah,
every
that-
seat you can see everything.
That's another cool thing about that venue is all the seats are pretty damn close. Like, even because we were in like, you know, that first like section kind of off the floor, but we were still like real fucking close to the ring. I liked it.
Now you're gonna be on the other side of the barricade, Adam. That's just, it's insane to think about. Congratulations, dude.
And he is frozen.
Shout out.
Either that or really, really scary.
He'll hear that next week.
He's doing that mannequin challenge thing. Shout out to the audio listeners. They don't know what the fuck we just did.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right.
Hell yeah. And I guess now it's
Oh, that's gonna be great. That's fun. That's what this show's all about, right?
right. That's us, baby. Your show. You know.
I guess I froze up after 118.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch the video on that. You gotta have to watch the video back on that one, Adam.
This one of those stupid, like,
No, is this?
was it really? I was in deep thought. I was looking for my smile.
Man, the Easter eggs. Well, we are off to a fantastic start. And I guess it's time to get into today's agenda. So what is today's agenda and bio, Bryant?
Well, on that note, today's agenda is we are covering the birthday boy, and that would be one Drew McIntyre. He was born Andrew Galloway, June 6th, 1985. Spoiler, right? Yeah. Was a wrestling fan in his younger days. Began training at the age of 15 in 2001. Spent most of his time traveling around Europe. Was actually trained by Doug Williams and Paul Burchill, were a couple of his known trainers back in his early.
However, from the perspective,
Great run-in. He would travel most of the independent circuit through Europe through 2006 and would be signed by WWE in 2007, being sent to Ohio Valley Wrestling. Would actually make a few shots on the main roster on SmackDown in 2007, wrestling a couple matches, teaming with Dave Taylor. He would then be sent to FCW, where he would really kind of hone in on the Drew McIntyre persona before being called up as the Chosen One in September of 2009 to SmackDown, where he would see a lot of his biggest success early on, winning the IC title at TLC 2009 from John Morrison. Unfortunately for Drew, that would kind of be the height of his early run in WWE. After dropping the IC title, really would kind of flounder in the mid-card a little bit until arguably his greatest success, forming 3MB in 2012. Him, Heath Slater, and Jinder Mahal. They would kind of be that quirky, funny group that would kind of go around on all the shows. And he would do that until his eventual release in June of 2014, where that would really be the next evolution of Drew McIntyre, going back to the Drew Galloway character from before, would tour the independent circuit, Evolve, ICW, TNA, kind of just making his name back out there and kind of showing WWE who he really was. He would do that, winning the world title and Evolve and TNA, before eventually in 2017 he would make an appearance on a NXT TakeOver, and it was announced that he was re-signing with NXT to kind of reintroduce himself back into the WWE family. Would stay in NXT for a year before going back to the main roster in April of 2018, where he would be teamed up with Dolph Ziggler, eventually going on to win the Royal Rumble, main eventing the COVID WrestleMania. where he would win his first WWE championship, and we've seen his success ever since. So there you go, guys. So on that, we thought we'd cover one of his crowning moments from his time in NXT, and thought we would do that. So James, what match are we covering?
Well, let's get on right into a good shit, Brian. And that match is Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode. Oh man, sweet graphic. It is for the NXT Championship from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. It emanated from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out Jay-Z.
Sick arena.
That is
That is a
absolutely
nice looking
beautiful.
place.
That is,
grass
I
on
don't know,
top?
but it just looks awesome.
I wanted to bring that up. As I was looking at pictures, I picked this one specifically. It does look like there's grass on top of the building, correct? I'm not losing my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this patch that you're seeing on the right over here, that side, it's the subway. You're coming up from outer ground. You're coming right out of the subway,
right there.
right in front of the Barclays Center.
Yeah.
That's where the SummerSlam in 2018 was at, where me, Eric, and my brother Zaner went to.
Nice.
I have no negativity here whatsoever.
There's a Luis
Great.
Miguel tour 2019.
Great picture. Looks cartoonish, but it's a great picture.
Yeah, they Jay-Z had part of and he even raps about it, moving the Nets to BK because they were in Jersey. They were.
I just heard what you said. Luis Miguel Tour 2019. Now I read it. We all just went right past that. You're just reading it right off the building there.
Yeah, Jay-Z kind of helped get that that center going and all that stuff, and he had to sell his share in the Nets because he became part of a sports agent company. But anyway,
You notice the WWE started running out of Barclays a lot because I guess Madison Square Garden is just way too expensive to run out of. And I guess this whole union crap too they got to deal with. So you
I wonder
notice
if
that
that's
they
and
don't
it's
run
kind
out
of
of.
capped. Like with Barclays, you can kind of set it up however you want to, and I think there's maybe a little more attendance that can happen. But I know.
Yeah, I was about to ask if Barclays is set up to have more people or is Madison Square Garden. I know, nostalgia wise, Madison Square Garden was going to be that one place, but
Becca.
yeah, but I was wondering if Barclays is actually bigger.
I
than
think
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden fits between 16 to 18,000. I think it's 16,000 for wrestling. I know I think they got about 20,000 there for Billy Joel's last show that they aired on CBS recently. I guess it's just like you said, it's more for the nostalgia at Madison Square Garden. I know the facility isn't probably top notch anymore, but you would think that they would make those changes and accommodate more, considering there's so many more options out there now. But I don't know the politics of it.
Yeah. And if you're capped at an attendance, maybe that's why people are moving out. Billy Joel, huh?
Love them.
Sorry, I tried to be a big shot, didn't I?
Did you?
You may be right. One of my
may
favorite
be
karaoke
crazy.
songs, because the very first of that song is very fitting to a lot of how I live my life.
According to Google, they're about the same. Madison Square Garden's 19,005 and Barclays is 19,000.
There's different setups for wrestling and concerts. I had just read it and I couldn't remember. I was doing it off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, arenas are arenas, right? I mean,
Yeah.
really. Anyway, great
No,
talk,
I bet,
fellas.
I bet Barclays is set up. You can get more chairs and all that too, so
Yeah.
that adds to it. And,
Well, there's nowhere to park at Madison Square Garden.
is there not?
No, I mean, it's in the middle of you literally get off the train at Penn Station. You were at Madison Square Garden. It's in the middle of everything.
I want to go just once just to say I've been to Madison Square Garden.
So for
Yeah.
me, Adam, it is simple. I get on that train, it takes me to the door.
That's all.
It's unbelievable. And guess what? I've never been there.
Oh, you have? Oh, wow, okay.
Well, is it
But I
time
mean,
to
I've
make
been
our
around it.
announcement?
I've been outside of it. I just never went in for a show.
Is it time to make our special announcement? We're doing a live show at Madison Square Garden. Selling it out.
And then the next
20,000.
night, if you bought that ticket, you can have our show at the Barclays Center.
Boom.
Back to back, baby, like all in and
All out.
all in, all out. Yeah.
Anyway,
Right? I think that's enough about that.
we really
Beautiful arena. The old Barclays.
Futuristic.
It is. A lot of things are wavy nowadays. You notice that? Like all these new arenas that we cover on these matches have like wave like type shit. You know, they're not just like
Lots of
solid-
windows.
Yeah. Had an attendance of 15,275. Had a match length of 22 minutes and 25 seconds with intros, probably about an hour. And Meltzer gave this one 4.25. Devyn.
Yeah, Devin.
But
Four and a quarter.
but speaking of
right.
Devyn, hey, great match. How did we get there?
All right. So a year before this, Bobby Roode made his magnificent debut into NXT.
He made his glorious debut, man. Come
No,
on.
I mean, use it as
Come on, let it play out,
Now it's
James.
used. All right, so everything was glorious because Bobby Roode was here for a year. He's been running NXT. Back in January, he won the NXT World Heavyweight Championship, and he was just on top of it all. And like Brian mentioned earlier, Drew McIntyre made his debut. Drew McIntyre worked his way up, became that #1 contender, and rightfully earned his shot at Bobby Roode. So here it was, right here, NXT TakeOver 3.
That is,
There really wasn't much for Bill. It was only like a month.
Fuck yeah.
So, month of them screaming at each other.
Dabbling with some sound effects this episode, folks. Stay tuned. All right. So big pipe entrance McIntyre. All right. So this was a big pipe, not big pipe, bagpipe.
What?
Wah,
For the
wah,
Blue
wah.
Man Group there?
I have that one on my own. All right. Who does it better, Mike? Not Mike at all, because Mike ain't here. Who does it better, Devin? Is it Piper or McIntyre?
Piper for sure. The original. But I mean, I'd love to see another version of this sometime soon, maybe at the Clash at the Castle.
That is something for sure. This is an absolute badass entrance. I will say that for sure. This is awesome. And I believe something very similar happened at this year's WrestleMania, if I remember correctly. Having said that, now we have James. We have Bobby Roode's entrance. What did you think of this?
Fucking one of my all-time favorite entrances. I do like the piano thing. I don't know if that was like a normal thing or a pay-per-view thing. I really, wasn't really watching. Shout out to that. But I like that piano deal. Like, it was pretty cool to, kind of see how the sausage is made on that piano entrance. And then, boy, when he comes out, like, glorious. Oh, man, that is G shit, too. That song is awesome. The presentation is awesome. Bobby Roode fucking kills it. And he does that little, like, stutter step walk thing. Oh, man, I love the Bobby Roode entrance, man. I really do. Big fan.
What'd you think, Devin?
Oh, it's same as James. I loved everything about it. I thought it was glorious. He had the piano, the fog, this magnificent robe. It was like a gospel music video almost.
So let me ask you a question, Devin. After an entrance like this, do you miss Bobby Roode?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of do. I think that I think right here might have been the best Bobby Roode of his entire career. But I think after this he had his run with Dolph Ziggler, where they're tag team champions, I believe, on SmackDown, and I miss Bobby Roode. I feel like he definitely could have been something more than he was, and I believe he's recovering still right now from surgery. But
I guess what I'm getting at here is he kind of started late in his career with WWE, kind of like LA Knight. Yeah. Did we miss him in his prime? Did they miss the opportunity to get this guy in his prime?
WWE, I think, did for sure. Like this this is right at the tail end of his prime, in my opinion. He'd already been the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, or maybe the Impact World Heavyweight Champion, whatever that company was at the time. He'd been with James Storm and Beer Money. I feel like the best Bobby Roode was maybe a year or two before this. This
All
is right at the end of his prime.
So, Adam, thanks for coming back. I got a question for you. The two entrances with these two competitors. Bully Ray goes on record a lot of time and says that he knows who's going to win before the match starts by the way the entrance goes. Do you have any indication by either of these competitors who's going to win and who's going to lose?
Oh, God, no, because at this point, Bobby Roode was only champion a couple of months. I think they said 200 days, which is what? Well, about 5-6 months probably, but still. I thought since Bobby Roode was a little bit more extravagant, he was going to retain because, all the other, old Drew McIntyre guy was just guys playing the bagpipes, which is big for him, but it just felt like Bobby Roode was just presented bigger.
You answered correctly.
Thank you. I passed the test.
James, when the ring announcer says one fall, the crowd yells one fall. Now, we have heard this on many occasions, but why is it mostly on a smaller venue like an NXT or a house show that you hear this more so than like a bigger stage?
That is actually a really good question. I've never thought of it that way. But maybe it's kind of one of those like the real fan, type of thing. Because obviously these bigger shows may be a little more commercialized. Like more people go that may not like watch the product or are legit fans. But with shows like NXT and maybe these smaller companies, like you kind of like people pay to go there. It's not just like a social gathering. Like they're fans going instead of like, hey, WWE's in town, and got some tickets. I don't really watch wrestling. Oh, just come on. But with smaller stuff like this, it's actually fans that want to pay to see the product.
Excellent.
And it's also whenever they do the 2 count. 1, 2, sweet. So I always love that one too.
By the way, James, who are the announcers?
Glad you asked. It is Nigel McGuinness, Mauro Ranallo, and like 4 times Percy Watson. I honestly thought there were only 2 announcers, and I was like, wait, there is another voice there.
Yeah, he didn't talk till halfway into the match.
He said like 4 things.
Shout out Ronaldo. Man, great shit.
For real.
That's gonna come up again, by the way.
Oh.
Adam, who's a referee this evening?
That is WWE Monday Night Raw's Eddie Orengo.
Devyn, do you like the NXT belt? Would you own it? And if you do, how much would you pay for it?
I do not own it. I like it. I think it's kind of a cool belt, but it's not one of my favorites. That version right there, I think the X is just way too ginormous, and it just reminds me kind of like the X Division title, like a little too much right there. So I
you
want to
must
own
have
that
hated
version.
the first version.
Well, yeah, the first version was just a huge
It was nothing
X.
but an X. Yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely think it's toned down a lot better now. But
Hey, Devyn, have you been able to find me a 2008 ECW belt yet? Because I know you're watching.
Hey, Vladimir Kozlov just beat Matt Hardy.
Oh my gosh, you're still watching, for real.
They've been feuding for like 2 months, and I don't even get it. They just fought at Armageddon 08, and there's no reason that like the title shouldn't have been on the line. Kozlov beat Matt Hardy clean, and then he wasn't crowned champion. I was so confused. But
Number one thing on Peacock this week, Raw. Before that, King of the Ring. Down at the bottom, one person watching 2008 WWE. Who the hell's watching that shit? Is that Devyn again?
Dude, Jeff Hardy just got crowned WWE
Look at
champ
you, you're
over
so ready to
Edge and
talk about
Triple
this.
H.
This IP address is in Governor, New York. Some dude's just
Do
like
we know anybody
binging.
there?
Some dude's binging all this stuff.
No.
It's
I don't
funny,
know.
Devyn, you said you're not a big fan of this belt. I've always loved the NXT belt. If I was going to buy another belt, it would be that one.
This specific one?
Yes, I love that. For some reason, I've always been a huge fan. I don't know if it's the black and gold, how it contrasts with another, but I've always been a huge fan of this version of the NXT title.
There we have it. Both
I've
men
always
faced,
loved it.
Both men are face to face. McIntyre absolutely towering over Roode, and then they lock up. Shoulder tackle Drew. Roode out of the ring. Chops by Roode. Announcers talking about Drew's journey back to WWE from the Indies. Devin, this has Triple H written all over it, doesn't it?
100%. I think Triple H said, "You are the chosen one. You were Vince's chosen one. Come to NXT and fulfill your prophecy. You're gonna do exactly what I think you've earned, and that's challenge for this NXT Championship."
So, guys, the next line, I can't read it. And I actually read these notes earlier today, trying to figure out what I was talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it, and then we're going to move on to the next line. McIntyre, get created. Now power. Yeah. Hell yeah, right? All
Where's
right,
your
let's do it.
Like Arnold wrote that line.
I don't know if y'all caught whenever they were coming out. Drew McIntyre was listed at 254, but he's listed now at 275. So
Oh,
from then to now, he's done packed on 20-something pounds of
Hey,
just
man,
muscle.
high carb diet.
Big boot by
McIntyre to Roode. McIntyre tosses Roode. Clothesline out of the ring by McIntyre. Both men on the outside. Great selling by Roode. McIntyre breaks the count. Love that. The crowd is counting along, which I even love that even more. Back elbow by McIntyre. Tilt-a-whirl slam on the apron by McIntyre to Roode. Looked like it hurt like hell, didn't it, James?
Yeah, really. Some of them outside, like on the edge of the ring moves. I mean, I get. I'm not really a fan of them, like, because they just look so fucking painful, like legit painful.
But that one looked nasty because he didn't hit flat like usual. He hit in an angle. You see right here in the picture. He kind of hit diagonally. So all that pressure is in that one right there in the spine.
Yeah.
So that could have been real bad.
Real.
It looked like it hurt like hell. Crowd dueling chants. Love the crowd interaction. But how's the pacing of the match up to this point, Adam?
It's pretty good, especially for McIntyre. I mean, because Bobby Roode probably can wrestle all day long. So I think it's you got to speed up, kind of slow down, speed up. I mean, they're telling a good story. I like it.
Neck breaker out of the ring by Roode. Bobby off the apron onto Drew. Roode I guess Roode working on McIntyre on the outside. Elbow to the throat of Drew. Both men back in the ring now. Big clothesline in the corner by Roode. Neck breaker by Roode. It was called the Roode Awakening, Devin. Is Bobby similar to Rick Rude, or is it just me? Or is it just the name? And why am I asking the one person that wasn't born yet?
So I don't think there's any relation, but it's definitely an honor, like doing it in honor of Rick Rude.
I'm writing this down.
He made sure to spell his name ROO instead of RUD.
I was about to say
just for that reason.
Different. Yeah.
I know. Good catch.
I mean, I don't know. I know I stepped away for a minute, but I don't know if anybody said anything. But the apron and the canvas of the ring itself, the black looks amazing.
Does. I'm partial to red and black myself.
Oh, that'd be even awesome with a big red logo. But the white ropes with the black canvas, I freaking love it.
I love it too. Irish whip by Roode to McIntyre. Missile drop kick by Roode. Roode in control. All right, so this was Mike, but let's just wing it. Mike or Adam or Adam. I know we're celebrating Drew, but if you were in the crowd, who would you be rooting for?
Oh, Drew, because I've always been a Drew fan. And Bobby's been a heel this whole time. He beat Shinsuke Nakamura to win the title. So, and Shinsuke was amazing back then.
Did you say heel? That Rude's a heel here?
Yeah.
Well, it sure didn't seem like that during the entrance now, did it?
Right?
No. During the entrance, it was crazy. Because he had one of the best entrances, no shit.
I love this entrance. Just love it.
It was glorious.
Sleeper by Roode. Drew breaks it by falling back into the corner. Pick Roode. Overhead belly-to-belly throw by Drew to Bobby. The play calling is exceptional. Or good or poor, James. What do you think?
Well, I mean, in all honesty, you got Nigel and Mauro Ranallo. I think they're both damn good. Like, I really do. I'm a the more and more we cover stuff that both of them, like, you know, like singular are in, I become more and more of a fan. I like Nigel on AEW. Ronaldo, the more and more we cover shit that, you know, I've never seen and that he's announcing on, I'm like, hot damn, that dude's good. Like, so
He's a day off for me. Okay? Because he calls the match. He calls the moves. He tells me what to say. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
And he does it with excitement too.
And he does. And it's smooth.
Yeah.
All right. So Roode dropped chin first into the turnbuckle. McIntyre clothesline off the top, and he is now pumped up. But Roode is not done. Ab drop Bobby, Roode knee lift. What? Firearm carry, Celtic cross by McIntyre. Crash! Kick out Drew. Adam, this has to be right up your alley. Limited cheating, solid wrestling, storytelling. Tell me I'm wrong.
Happy boy, happy boy.
And no light tubes, right?
Thank God. Happy
McIntyre,
boy.
McIntyre and Roode top turnbuckle, but his legs are scrambled. McIntyre is in a very bad position. But McIntyre launches the NXT champion halfway across the ring, looking for the Claymore. Roode not getting up. But he was playing possum the whole time. That's what I was getting at there. And cover and then a kick out. Backstabber Roode, cover, kick out. Good strategy with the possum, Devyn, or do you think it was too obvious?
Yeah, I definitely think it was a good strategy. It wasn't too obvious because he's been taking a beating. He's been being thrown around. He's been, you know, he's a smaller man. He's been getting.
Oh, give me a break, Devyn. He was acting dead to the world. He's taking worse shots than that.
That's what I'm saying. It was good, and it was good selling.
All right.
He was just playing possum.
Future
Sure
shock
fooled
DDT.
Drew McIntyre, didn't it?
Yeah, he sure was fooled. Future shock DDT by Drew, kick out Bobby. I mean, this is one of those fight forever situations, isn't it? Isn't it, James?
I definitely agree. And to double back on what you were saying about like Bobby Roode, because that was one thing I wanted to mention. Bobby Roode's selling in this match is awesome. It's almost like he sells it twice. Like he sells the impact of the move, and then he'll like kind of sit up and then like fall over or do that. Like he sells twice. I think that's really cool. And another thing I wanted to mention, the crowd is not lit up, and I think that kind of brings another like a aura, like a mystique, you know, title match type of a feel to it.
Absolutely. Firearm carry, Drew McIntyre, Bobby reversal into the power bomb, Drew kick out. Both men don't know what more they can do. Both men going at it now. Claymore out of nowhere by Drew. Was it rushed? Was it rushed, Devyn, or are we talking about the end of the match, pal? Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I don't think this one was rushed at all. Like, it was a great setup. He popped right out of the corner, had it wide open. Just Bobby Roode was a little too close to those ropes for him.
He gets his foot on the rope. Usually it's over in that situation, though, isn't it, James?
Yeah, and I think the ring awareness, which is also what they mentioned on commentary. But man, that you know, that pin, and then all of a sudden, because he's, you know, Bobby Roode's like dead to the world, and then just all of a sudden that one foot.
I love that move. I love that move.
At the two, like right at the two count. Perfect.
The
Good
timing
timing.
was spot on, yeah.
So then Bobby rolls out of the ring, which is always such a veteran move. Adam, how's the referee doing in this match?
He's right on point. He's giving you. I've noticed he's giving his time cues. He's where he needs to be at the right time. So that's why he's on Monday Night Raw now, not NXT.
You guys ready for this? Drew over the rope with a tope Kohiro.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to
Come
get
on,
this in.
Hilo.
Hey, look, pal, I'm close enough, and that's what we're doing. But thank you again. That's something I would not have ever been able to
That
say.
impact looked like it hurt.
Oh
Like,
God,
that
he
was
hit
amazing,
flat, didn't he? He
amazing.
bounced.
But
Oh.
Devyn, seriously, what a move, right? Is this crazy or what?
It was insane, but like, yeah, I don't think it was needed by any means. It's two of these huge dudes out here, and like
It's NXT.
Bobby Roode didn't protect Drew much at all, so I don't think that Drew needed that at all.
But it almost shows like, okay, my future shot didn't take him out. They 2-count Claymore. It almost shows Drew's desperation. Like I gotta do something to take him out. And this is how desperate he got for the championship.
What's the name of the announcer again? One more time. Not
Percy Jackson?
Not Nigel, not
Christian
Percy.
Watson?
Not either of those guys.
Nigel,
Morrow?
Morrow.
Morrow. I keep forgetting. I don't know why I keep forgetting it. Where is he now? Anybody know?
I don't
He
think
does
he's anywhere.
boxing for Showtime.
The guy's incredible. Okay, the guy is incredible. He's made for this. Do you know Devyn?
Yep, exactly what Adam just said. He's doing
Oh,
Showtime,
yeah, he's
boxing
incredible.
for Showtime.
Great.
He also does Bellator MMA as well.
I need to watch more
That's
just because of
cool.
him. Forget the match.
I think he fought some like mental illness stuff, and I think it took a toll on him. And he took a step away from WWE for a while, and I think he just kind of stepped back into boxing. And I think he's just more familiar with it, probably.
Yeah, I'd love to have him back. I'll tell you that. Me,
Yeah,
I
personally.
recommend everybody. There's a documentary on Mauro Ranallo called Bipolar Rock and Roller. It's about his story through getting into announcing and also him fighting and dealing with his bipolar disorder. Recommended if you find it on a streaming service. I think it's on Paramount Plus and wherever else you can see it. I recommend
All
it.
right, sounds good. Thank you so much for that, Brian.
That's our homework.
Both men hurt, and the ref is counting. Both back in the ring now. Carpe Diem seized the day. Spinebuster Rude when Drew was going for the Claymore. I mean, did we wait too long there, Adam?
Beautiful spine buster. I mean, he's going for the finish. So I mean, he's getting desperate. He's got to do something to take him out. I loved it.
Glorious DDT by Rude, but Drew kicks out. Did the crowd make you think this was over, James?
Yep. Because kind of once they start doing like a couple hot moves, and somebody hits like a finisher or whatever, or a signature move, I guess now they're called. Yeah, because crowd's all standing up, and you're like, oh, this is it, because he hit this move. 1, 2, oh,
But a second glorious DDT. Cover him, right, Devyn?
Maybe he should have, but he went for a third one.
And a Glasgow kiss by McIntyre into the Claymore, which was a little rushed, right, Devyn?
Maybe. Just compared to today's, you normally see him doing the whole countdown.
Yeah, you should always warn somebody you're about to do something. I always do. Hey, I'm about to punch you. I'm about to kick you. Look out. And anyway, let's get into the 1, 2, 3. Absolutely incredible match. Great moment for Drew. But what happens after this? Who the hell are these guys?
Adam Cole, baby! I met Bobby Roode too. Awesome.
Great way to end the match. Big win for Drew. A long way back to get the title, and then it gets spoiled by the Undisputed Era. Love these guys. End one story, start a new story. Well done, Triple H. And everybody, that is the match.
That was easy.
Anyway, anybody have anything else they want to add to that?
I do like the fact of completing one story, starting another one. Like, it can be overplayed and overdone, sometimes on pay-per-views, but like the way they did it here, Drew wins and you get to see where the story's going moving forward. Like, claps all around.
Okay, I meant Bobby Fish. I think I said Bobby Roode, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
My
okay.
bad. We'll go back and take that out so nobody will hear it.
Oh,
And I
no,
meant
we
to
don't
say-
edit.
I meant to
Yeah.
say Bobby Fish. Meant Bobby Fish this weekend.
Where's Roderick Strong?
He wasn't a part of the group yet.
No, I didn't know that. I forgot. I actually
Yeah,
forgot.
they recruited him later on.
Yeah, he joins after Bobby Fish gets injured, and then he starts teaming with Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly looks young.
He was.
Nice jeans there by Adam.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Oh, come on. Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's the match. Unless anybody's anything else to add, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a great choice by Bryant. Thank you. And if you're ready for listener questions, I have him here.
Do it.
Ben Jones, friend of the show, and he's got a couple of comments and questions throughout this thing. Shout
Big
out.
surprise.
If Drew was around in the early 2000s, do you think that Roddy Piper would have made a great manager for him, or would he have not needed one? I don't know about a manager, but I definitely think they could have done a couple things together.
I mean, it wouldn't have hurt. Like, having Roddy as a manager wouldn't have been a downfall. Like, does Drew need one? Maybe not, but I mean, Roddy as a manager, sign us up, you know?
It's hard for me to see Roddy Piper as just a manager because I feel like he'd have to get involved a whole lot more than just a normal manager would.
Well, I think we've seen some active managers before.
Yeah,
What
like
do you
he
think?
did with Sean O'Hare, though. I could definitely see something like that. They both have their Scottish backgrounds, so
Agreed. Good question, Ben. Randy Alcarai's got a hot take. Friend of the show, Randy Alcarai.
Here we go.
I'm going to tell you this. I read this. I'm like, things that make you go, Bobby and Drew, who got wasted more on their main show runs. Take away COVID, Drew. Has he had any relevancy since? They try to push him, but alas, it seems to fail. Did he write this a year ago?
Did he get wasted on his main event run? Are we talking about like bar tabs in all the cities, or where are we going there?
Yeah, because Bobby Roode is the bigger waste.
Yeah.
But it wasn't terrible. I think
It
he had
wasn't
an
terrible. He just got stuck in tag teams and
intercontinental run, right? Or was it a U.S. title? One of them.
I think maybe in US. I think
I loved it when he made I loved it when he
His,
started
his SmackDown debut. You want to talk about an entrance? It's on YouTube. Go YouTube. Bobby Roode's like first SmackDown entrance. Glorious. And then the fucking graphic thing over the top. Like that's an entrance. But yeah,
Drew.
I would assume that Drew is doing well. Looks to be
Devyn,
very prominent spot right now.
Devyn, you're itching. What is it?
Well, I don't think that really. I don't think Bobby was wasted because, like I talked about earlier, his prime was when he was in TNA. In my opinion, I feel like his latest run in TNA was his prime. So I don't think he was really wasted. I think they got maybe the most that they probably could have at the time before he got injured because he's battled injuries most of his last couple years in WWE.
No, he wasn't wasted at all. But out of the two.
Yeah, out of the two, but Drew McIntyre.
No, I'm not saying it was bad. Yeah,
Drew McIntyre.
He was tag champion with Ziggler for a while, and
Randy. Yeah, Drew McIntyre.
That's a hot take from the Pops.
That's what I mean. I can't. He's doing great.
Figure for like
just
4 straight years now.
I mean, he has a very good chance of being champ in a couple weeks here, right?
He won the championship.
He ran the whole COVID era.
Yeah, but he said take that out for some reason. We got to take a year. We got to take a year of his championship run out, and he's been waiting. What are we taking his championship run out for?
All right,
forget the part where he was the champion. Forget that.
Phone call me. Tell Brad to fuck off.
Take the part out when he was champion. Forget that part. Other than the championship run for 10 months, what has he done?
Take out that he beat Brock Lesnar, that he won Royal Rumble. Take all that away.
Dude, that Rumble,
he also won the championship at WrestleMania.
Remember that Rumble. Brock Lesnar came in and was just eliminating everybody. Boom, 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 boom.
And so Drew stepped in.
Like, Drew went babyface by eliminating Brock Lesnar. And he started the 3-2-1 thing because of the Rumble.
Wait a minute. What about this shitty run he's had so far with Seth Rollins and CM Punk and all these other terrible low names?
Won the title of Mania.
He got cashed in. He won the championship.
He's one of the few people to have pinned Cody Rhodes.
I think he's getting Drew McIntyre mixed with Drew Gulak or something.
Or he's talking about actually getting wasted, and therefore Bobby Roode, who used to be part of Beer Money, got wasted all the time, and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre are best friends. And we know Sheamus loves his pints.
I thought he was talking about Bobby Lashley.
Between the competition between the two, Bobby Fish, I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I hope we answered your question, Randy.
Can't wait for that phone call.
Friend of the show, Matt M. How does everyone feel about WWE PLE's adapting Triple H's old TakeOver format of shorter shows, less matches, more time per match, better matches? Well, I think from reading this, Matt, I know how you feel.
Well, it's just like last week. King and Queen of the Ring, 5 matches. Double or Nothing, 12 matches.
I like the format.
I love the format.
You guys like it?
Agreed.
Yeah. I also
guess-
want to let you know Matt M responded to Randy Elkarai's question and saying, Randy Elkarai, this is crazy talk. Drew is very relevant now and has also was involved in one of the top moments in the biggest mania ever. And Randy says, yeah, they're pushing him butt for how long before it goes south?
Okay, that's a fair statement, but I mean, that's kind of like
Anybody.
you say that about everybody, though. Well,
People lose
you know,
eventually.
oh, they're pushing MJF. How long until it goes south? Oh,
Yeah, they
they're
pushed
pushing
Joe.
you know,
Yeah, they pushed Samoa Joe. Then look what he's doing now. He's nowhere near the title.
They're pushing
What?
Swerve Strickland. How long till it goes south?
I love when there's interaction on the questions. That's one of my favorite things. So once again, Brandy Wagner has a statement, not a question, a statement. Has never responded to me saying it's a statement, by the way, but just keeps making statements.
Oh, good.
I remember when he first, Drew,
We
Pronouns.
love statements.
first went back on the indies at ICW in Scotland. That promo gave me chills, and he made it all come true. Very true. That was a great promo, but a statement, not a question.
Listener
Drew
questions and
Galloway.
statements.
All right, this is another one from. God, I don't even know who this is from. Shout out. I'm cut off here. I think it is. It's Bober. It's Bober. Should 3MB have gone? Mike Bober, for those of you at home that don't know who Bober is, from Pittsburgh, big Penguins fan.
Yinzer.
Should 3MB have gone on tour? I think they could have sold out stadiums. Again, for those of you at home that don't know who 3MB is, maybe you're not the biggest wrestling fans. Drew McIntyre joined hit Jinder Mahal,
Slater.
and
Jinder and Heath Slater, yep.
they kind of just threw these guys together, and they actually got over for a little bit. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. They were probably the second
band.
They were probably the second best trio at the time, behind the Shield. I didn't hate it. But didn't work. It actually lasted longer than it should have, probably. Matt
They
M
gave
again.
my boy Hornswoggle the greatest match of his career when he faced El Torito in the TLW match.
What do you think of that, Adam?
Classic.
Matt M again.
WLC or something like that.
WLC. Yeah, I said it backwards.
If you're covering based on a birthday, you should have been covering Liv Morgan, who turns 30 on 6/8.
It's my daughter's birthday.
Shout out, Matt M.
It's 2 days away.
Another comment on Twitter, marking it out. One of our brother sister podcasts that always share our stuff said, the NYPD Emerald Society Pipes and Drums entrance was one of the best entrances I've ever experienced live. So he was there.
I bet it was cool to see
Yeah.
those entrances live.
Oh yeah. Ben Jones has one of his jokes, Adam. What did McIntyre draw exactly? Because his name is Drew.
He drew more than you do.
Waka
should've
waka waka.
All right, Bober's got a long one, and I don't mean that way.
Hey-o.
Do you think that Drew's career would be what it is today if it wasn't the chosen one during his first WWE run? Meaning, do you think Drew would have worked harder had he not been handpicked as the next big thing? I believe he has stated he read his own press clippings a little too much and thought everything was going to be handed to him on a silver platter.
You never know. Because if he starts like anointed and then has that fall from grace, does he have that perseverance to push right back up and be where he's at now? Like
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Hit rock. He hit bait. I don't know how rock bottom it was, but it's as rock bottom as you can get, thinking you're going to be this guy, and now you're cut, fired. Figure it out. I'm sure he probably wouldn't be who he is today, at least not as a man.
And he looked real babyface and stuff back in the day, and now he looks like yoked out, grown ass man gonna beat everybody's ass type of shit. Like
6'5", 275. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with him.
yeah, like right now I would have anointed him. Back when he was like younger looking and everything, kind of a little leaner. Like but now he looks like a grown fucking man, like in there to whip ass.
Devyn, what do you think?
I think it was that slap in the face, that wake up call for him. This shit isn't just going to be handed to me. If I want to actually be the chosen one, I'm going to have to go and earn this shit. And now he's showing it every single Monday, being one of the best promos in the game, I think. Like, honestly, one of the best people on the mic, one of the most chiseled looking people athletically who steps inside the squared circle. He's just, Drew McIntyre's got it all right now.
And I actually think his road, because this was a similar road by Cody Rhodes, leaving, making yourself, coming back. I think it's a harder road because he's not a Rhodes. Let's face it, Cody Rhodes had a name. He had a name recognition out there on the indies. People were going to come see him. He is Cody Rhodes, son of Dusty Rhodes, brother of Dustin Rhodes. Drew McIntyre is Drew McIntyre, Drew Galloway. He's him. He's all by himself. He did it all alone. And I no disrespect to Cody. He did a great thing, and he's the man now. But Drew...
And with Cody's sabbatical, it was kind of like he stepped away, and you were like, as a fan, like, oh man, they kind of fucked him over with the Stardust stuff. They kind of made him a joke and all this stuff. He's leaving to prove himself, and he's Dusty's son, Dustin's brother. Like, because I agree with that. Like, Drew got the fucking key to the castle. No pun intended. Cody was like an afterthought, and then he left to be like, well, fuck you. I'm out. And Drew was like handed everything, like, oh, it didn't work, and then he was kind of booted out. Where Cody was like, peace.
You know what I also like? Drew never put down the company. Not that Cody did either. I'm not saying that. It was all in character, probably. But Drew always wanted to come back. His goal was to come back and prove that he was the man. So I love his story. I do. I hope he wins in Scotland.
Devyn made a very interesting motion there. Cody may not have said anything putting down the company, but he did sledgehammer a fucking throne. So,
And now he's calling out Triple H during his WrestleMania moment.
Come out here. I need a hug.
Long-term storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, to say the least. With a tear in my eye.
At the edge of a lightning bolt.
Guys, that's it for the questions. Back to you, James. Thanks, everybody.
I got a question. It's from Joshua Beach at Omega_Apex128. Gentlemen, TNA in NXT is exciting, but what is just testing the waters? But what if this is just testing the waters? What do you think the chances of War Games invasion happening on the main roster?
Well, we touched on this a little bit last week, right?
I think it's a hell of a way to go. I mean, main roster wise, if you don't have a story, which we all know the bloodline may be a thing, but as the months progress and Survivor Series, and why not have on the main show a Survivor Series, War Games, whatever, of TNA and NXT on the main?
Well, who would you guys book?
Well, definitely. Could you go men and women or just men?
Probably,
because now you got Jordan Grace.
Well,
how do you get rid of her?
2 and 2, 2 men, 2 women from each.
Okay,
you gotta have Moose in there, man. You gotta have Moose in there. And what about Dolph? do you have Nick? Nick Nemeth?
Oh, it could be very well that Nick's behind some of this.
Sure.
I mean, he is. He didn't leave on bad terms, I don't think.
I think his contract ran out. I think was all it was.
He asked for his release and was granted.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Moose is a good choice, man. I got to think about this. This is a question you should ask me ahead of time, Devyn.
It could be one of the guys I'm meeting Friday, Ace Austin.
That's a fantastic choice.
Speedball, huh?
There are Josh Alexander.
Oh, fuck yeah, of course, yeah. Man, that's a good one too.
You guys are missing the most obvious choice here. Why do we all not believe in Joe Hendry?
Oh my God! First off, you're right. You're right. He's the next. First off, he's the next TNA champion. He's getting the Trick Williams treatment right now because he's getting over everywhere.
Dude,
everywhere,
nationally,
internationally.
Moose, Josh Alexander, Joe Hendry, maybe
I believe
Nick Nemeth, maybe Speedball. That's not a bad squad.
There are so many great
Jordan
wrestlers.
Grace.
Jordan Grace as the China enforcer against Jade Cargill.
Oh man,
look it!
I think her versus Roxanne is going to be awesome.
They said they had a feud in the past. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that.
I'd rather see Jordan and Bianca.
Roxanne's final match in Impact was against Jordan Grace.
Okay, that's correct. Okay. I'm interested, man. If they could do something like this across promotion, it'd be great. I mean, obviously WWE is going to go over, but gotta make some make some stars though. Make some stars. Anyway, great
what is
question.
that, the rising tide sails all ships, whatever the fuck that is. I mean, if you promote these TNA people to where there's more interest in them, it works for you also. It works for everybody.
Works for everybody. There's a reason they're putting Jordan Grace on your show.
For real. And she is over like Rover, like in
And there's the reason why she's winning the NXT Women's Championship.
She is not winning. Well, we would already know by now, by the way.
What if she shows up on TNA TV with that NXT belt?
I no way. No shot. No shot.
Okay.
Okay. Well, guess what? One of us is wrong right now.
I'm calling it. She wins NXT Championship.
One of us is wrong.
She will be
probably you.
She'll be the golden goose if she walks out on TNA TV with a WWE belt. Because, of course, WWE does like the Mickey James and everything like that. That's cool to, show the lower promotion on your show. But if she takes the big old belt and goes up to TNA, like, hey, that's good stuff.
Who's going to help Roxanne win the championship is what I'm asking. So we'll see. A great question. We went down a rabbit hole on our own there.
Right?
Who's the guy from NXT that got like fired and thrown out of the building?
Oh, what's that dude's name? He's got like a scraggly beard, like a 5 o'clock shadow thing.
Blonde
Brooks
hair.
His last name's like Brooks or something like that. Fuck is that dude's name?
Second Brooks Jensen?
Yeah, because there's a video of him
was
like
he thrown out?
running in and he's like bitching at the commentary when they were on a commercial break.
And then he cut a
What do I
promo
know
with
about
Hendry's
this?
picture behind him.
I watched NXT this week. What did I miss?
Some
What was I in the
dude-
bathroom for?
Is it Brooks Jensen? It's something like that.
Brooks Jensen, he is
He got released.
yeah.
Like
Or did
little
he?
while
Because
back.
he ran into NXT's taping and was bitching at commentary during the commercial break.
Well, Brooks Jensen's
Yeah, it's
still
Brooks
NXT.
Jensen.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
had Joe
Yeah.
Hendry's, like Devyn said, he had Joe Hendry's photo in the background when he was talking.
He's apparently lost access to his Twitter account, but still has access to his Instagram. And WWE's changing stuff on his Twitter. He cut a promo with Joe Hendry's picture in the background and mute "I Believe in Joe Hendry" playing in the speakers. So
That's
Who knows?
Bobby Buchanan's son.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know.
trained here in town.
Well, this
He
is
used
news to
wrestle
me,
for
guys.
Spartan.
maybe
He
something's
wrestled with Spartan
happening.
when he was younger.
Not
Oh,
playing.
sorry.
I'm not talking.
Oh.
Oh.
I was about to say it's dead silent.
All right. Let's move on.
Great, great questions. Great feedback. Appreciate everybody. And you can post those listener questions and listener statements. Shout out to our socials. Whenever we talk about what match we're going to discuss, just put your comments there and we'll get them on your show. That being said, you really outdid yourself on this outline, Brad. Because up next we have Devyn's digestive drinks that don't quite make it. So Devyn,
Yeah, I had no idea where the heck I was supposed to go with this one, so I just looked up, hey, what's 10 drinks that are terrible for us? So as of March 19th, 2024, the top 10 worst drinks for you. Surprisingly, alcohol's not in it. But number 10 is Arizona green tea. Back to
Really?
you.
damn.
Yeah, number 9, specifically Barks root beer.
What? I went to college with the heiress of that of the Barks person's granddaughter. I went to college with her. She's probably running the shit by now. I'm 38, so yeah.
Well, she should make it a little healthier. It's 9th on the worst drinks you can drink.
She was definitely
Number
a healthy
8.
person. I'll put it that way.
Number 8 is Welch's grape soda. I didn't know they had grape
that purple
soda.
drink?
Yeah, I knew they had grape juice. I didn't know they had soda, though. Number 7, everyone's favorite, Mountain Dew. It's bad
Coke
for you.
down.
Number 6, the Starbucks Frappuccino that every girl's got to get once they throw on their Ugg boots and that fall season comes around.
Yeah, the Han Solo season where they all
I
dress
love
like
that
Han Solo.
you mix the UGG boots into that. That's pretty funny. Frappuccino
It's
UGG
football
boots.
season.
That's it. Talk about
Number
stereotype.
5. Naked green juice machine.
You know, it's funny you say that because that is supposed to be a healthy drink.
Yeah, all
So-
the nakeds are like, real vegetable, and all this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It's just pure salt in them. They just why does these vegetables taste so good? Oh, they're covered in salt.
Here's one thing of
Really.
broccoli, and here's 120 milligrams of salt.
Why does this vegetable soup taste so good when I eat broccoli and tomato by itself, it doesn't? Salt. Sorry, Devin.
No, you're fine. I love it because number 4 is Arizona sweet tea.
Arizona making two in the top 10. What a great state.
What's next? Arizona
Number 3.
ginseng or something like?
Maybe, maybe not.
Number 3, Monster Energy.
So that's the only energy drink on there? Or is there 2 more above it? Because I need to know now. Where's the Red Bull?
Number 2 is Naked Blue Machine Juice.
Oh, man. Blue Machine.
Another naked juice.
Oh, wait. That wasn't what he said. That was Mean Machine.
2 Arizonas and 2 naked juices. So for all of you, health crazy people,
Don't get naked in Arizona.
boom.
Big
Or
deal.
half and half, maybe.
Mr. Palmer, it is.
And number 1 on the worst drinks for you list is
Red Bull.
Naked Mighty Mango Juice.
Dude, at our
nakeds?
store, that is a seller. The mango one, the green machine and the
figure.
mango are like the 2 top sellers.
Go
And all
figure.
these,
The
like,
top 2 unhealthiest drink of all time are popular. No way.
Yeah, and all these like,
Extremely.
Wait a minute. People like McDonald's cheeseburgers too?
I drink this naked juice. Like they all like act like they're better. They're buying gluten-free bullshit and all that stuff all the time, and they're making sure that they get naked juice and not like, I don't like any of that fake stuff. Well, corn syrup, that asshole. It seems like there is a lot of fake.
Guess what's not on there? The dangerous prime drinks.
For real. Or Bang energy drinks, Shout out to
Or
Code
Corona.
Red Mountain Dew.
Now, did they exclude alcohol, Devin? Because I have a hard time believing that whiskey isn't on there.
We're like,
I don't know.
Rumplemans, Everclear. Y'all ever drank Everclear? Like,
Once.
I took a shot one time, like thinking I was tough. I swear to God, I was breathing in and out, like couldn't catch a breath for like a solid like 8 or 9 breathe in and outs. I used to drink Everclear with Dr. Pepper when I was in college, son. Shout out to not graduating college, But man, that is a rough go.
Brad, did you graduate college?
Yes.
Oh, all right, never mind.
He got his
Great
degree
question,
in car salesman.
Yeah. I got a degree in not whatever I'm going to use, right? English. I can read and I can write, sort of.
Can't read your own writing though.
Can't read my own writing. Yeah, that's back.
Waka waka waka. Oh. And that's it for Devyn's digestive drinks that don't quite get it. Make it, whatever. Back to you,
Yeah.
James.
Hell yeah, man! I like that. That was a good segment. Very surprising. Some of those, choices.
Very surprising. Well done, Devin.
And I like,
Surprising for me too.
I like the name of the next segment, "The Spirit of the Headful," because we're covering Drew McIntyre, and he has the Glasgow Kiss, and he has the Claymore. Those are head moves, right? Huh, Brad? You outdid yourself on this one. And that was the Spirit of the Headful.
That was a bad one.
No, it was
Not
good.
you, me.
No, dude, it related. Glasgow Kiss, Claymore, those are headshots.
Yeah, I wish I would have thought of that.
You did. No, yeah, man, nothing too insane, just processing all of this moving and stuff, and I'm about to be at the end of my current tenure at my current job, and couldn't be more proud to get the flying fuck away from some of those people. Not to be rude, but I mean, it is what it is. You know, they've a couple people have kind of ostracized me and kind of like look at me a little crazy, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to never fucking see you again. Like, you know, it is what it is. That's hey, it's being positive. You know, I'm not. You know, I wish them well in their future endeavors. I'll put it that way. But yeah, man, just because the more I'm here, the less money I'm making, and the longer my year, like, you know, because I'm promoted to one level, and then after a year, I get a big jump. So the longer I'm here, making the less money, is the longer that year is taking. You know what I mean? So it's kind of anxious, ready for the move, and you know, it's here's another thing that like, yes, I may hate, you know, or dislike. Hate's a strong word. I may dislike, you know, some of my coworkers and where I'm at here, you know, locally, but I'm trying to set them up for a little success when I leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could just be bitter and just be like, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. But it ain't about that, because the new person that's taking my position, like, she's new and all this stuff. She's been helping us here lately because we kind of figured she was going to get it. And, you know, I'm just like trying to, like, hey, you're going to want to look out for this. Hey, I know that they're not going to teach you this, but this is some shit I noticed that's helping. You're going to want to look at this. You're going to want to look at this, you know, like, and she may listen to it, she may not. Like, who cares, you know? But I'm not just going to be like, fuck you, here it is, take it. You know, like, I try to at least, like, hey, this is going to be some things that you're not going to be taught or trained, but it's things that I picked up that was like, it's going to make your life a lot easier when you officially, you know, take over this position. And you know, because I don't hold no, you know, I may not like a lot of my coworkers, but, you know, ill will and all that stuff. Like, I don't wish them harm. I just don't like them. But, you know, like, I definitely try to, like, set them up. Like, hey, watch out for this. Hey, watch out for this. You know, make everything better moving forward. I may hate them, but you know, set them up for success on the way up. And as a manager, it's kind of what I'm going to have to do at my new place: set people up for success. Like, you know, hey, this is how we're going to do this. This is what, and there's a reason, like, why I'm telling you this. I'm not just doing it just to power trip. I don't give a fuck about power tripping. I give a fuck about being successful. You know, and y'all are going to help me be successful. We are going to be successful. So I'm not just going to be like, you know, dictator or, you know, totalitarian or anything like that. Like, no, we're here to fucking improve. You know? So that's just some things that I've had on my head full. You know, but yeah, man.
Got a lot going on, James. A lot going on, man.
Boy howdy. You know. But yeah, like, you know, pay it forward type of thing. Like, even though a lot of my coworkers suck ass, I'm still gonna try to help them out as long as I can. You know.
That's admirable of you.
Yeah. Well, it's because they have to succeed. Like, you can't, because we service the military community. So, like, we can shrug our shoulders and be, oh, fuck it, fuck this. But, man, like, you're providing people with food. Like, you can't just shrug your shoulders. It's not like you're doing, like, accounting and you're like, ah, fuck their money, I don't care. You know, which I guess technically we are with their money. But, yeah, it's not like a normal just bullshit. Like, you're trying to provide people with food to feed their families, especially people that took an oath to, you know, pretty much surrender a lot of their freedom to protect ours. So that's kind of, you know,
Amen to that.
yeah. So, you know, it's all about like making everything better. And then you don't have to deal with like, oh, hey, there's an online comment that said this. We need to look into this, because people will never put online how great your store was. They will always put online how fucking terrible it is. So, like, the less amount that happens, the better for everyone. You know?
Excellent. And
That's quite a headful. You know? And
Yeah, I got a question though, James.
I got an answer, Devyn.
You've been extremely busy lately. Yeah, what have you been making for dinner? Has there been something specific that you've been having for dinner lately?
I load up an app on my phone. It's got a domino on it. No, Actually, I made a steak the other night. Yeah, I cook. So let's get into this. Shout out Mike. It's James's Mike's Meat Minute. I made a steak the other night. It was very good. There's Kinder's seasoning. I think it's Kinder's, but it may be Kinder's. Who knows? They got steak seasoning. It's bomb as fuck. But one of my favorite things to do is homemade fried chicken strips. You get the chicken tenders, you get some lefties, but use the lefties as a base, and then use the house archery as your final fry. Because you soak the see, this is the thing. You get 1 cup of the lefties mix, and you mix that with some beer, and then you mix that up, and that's what you put your chicken tenders in. You coat that with the wet, breading. Then you drop those into the house archery dry breading, bread it out, kind of flatten them up a little bit. You don't want them too fat, and they cook uneven. You're going to burn all your breading, and the chicken's going to be raw. Kind of flatten it out a little bit. Place it in the pan. Have it lukewarm or have it warm, not crazy hot, because then once again, you're going to fry that breading and not the chicken. But yeah, fried chicken. Obviously one of my favorite things to make. Home your own fried chicken, and a Philly. Can't go wrong with a Philly, bro. A good Philly cheesesteak, hot. Shout out. The one thing about Philadelphia that I'll actually shout out, those Philly cheesesteaks are bomb. Well, okay, But yeah, Philly cheesesteaks are bomb as shit, dude. With some onions and some peppers, maybe a little jalapenos. Not too crazy about mushrooms personally. But man, nothing like a good Philly. Like a really
Fuck
good
mushrooms.
Philly. Huh?
Mushrooms suck.
I hate them. One time, hey, here's another fun story. One time in college, we went to pick some mushrooms. We're going to get some psilocybin. Yay! Well, we picked the wrong ones, and we all took them, and it was like clockwork at the house. Everybody was running to the bathroom in like 30-minute intervals. We pretty much food poisoned ourselves, probably almost died. But yeah, we thought we were getting the drug mushrooms. Come find out we got poison mushrooms. And that was like, I was pale, sweating, shitting, and puking. Like, fun stuff. And that's Mike's Meat Minute. Right there.
And that's hallucinogenic tips with James.
Right? And you know what? You know what's good with bad drugs? No, I'm kidding. But hey, Devyn, what are the kids watching these days?
Well, some of them are taking bad drugs and watching my demographic this week. Which, for number one, I just want to give a shout out to the D'Angelo brothers and Paulie B for the release of One True Sport Network. I think that's fantastic for them guys, honestly. This is going to be on OneTrueSportTV.com. You can catch the Kurt Angle pod, One of a Kind with RVD, a bunch of the shows that those guys have been showing, and their talent's getting put to the
Couldn't be happy
test.
for all these guys. Devyn, I appreciate you bringing it up. The Angelo brothers, great friends. Paulie B, shout out, my man. All three of you, I'm happy for you. Andrew Hermis also involved with this. Glad to see you guys are doing something a little different. So best of luck to all of you. And I have subscribed, so.
Nice. I need to. I'm going to. So maybe by the time this episode drops, I will be a subscriber. But shout out to them guys. So number 2 for my demographic this week. Adam touched on it a little bit earlier, but Teddy Long and Mark Henry were at Battle Riot 4 for MLW. They were there for the crowning of Alex Kane, the true leader of the Boomaye Fight Club. Oh, it was a fantastic match that he had, and I think that it truly was like a life-changing moment, I think.
Shout out, Faye.
Me and my referee buddy got to carry that throne out there in between matches.
How heavy was it?
Not heavy at all. It sat good too.
You sitting it?
Yeah. I didn't take pictures because I didn't want evidence.
That's a great picture, by the way. Man.
That is a pretty legit picture. Like everybody in that picture, like that's a hell of a for Alex. I'm happy for Alex and Mr. Thomas and all that stuff. Like that's going to be a picture that you remember.
I don't understand that, but here's my problem with this picture. They're not looking at the guy taking the picture. They're looking at somebody else.
Well, there's probably another picture that's like straight on.
How do we get
like,
this picture?
There's probably a second camera. What do you want them to do, Brad? Like stare down at the ground?
The fact that nobody said anything about Alex Kane shaving his head blows my mind.
He had hair before?
Yes, he had the whole mohawk.
I don't get involved with
Yeah,
people's hair. It's a waste of time for me. I think
Yeah.
everybody should be bald.
No, I mean everybody paused when he walked in, like, "Oh my God, you cut your hair!"
I can't believe I didn't even notice.
I like it.
Seriously didn't notice. Anyway,
All right, so number 3 for my demographic this week, the Buffalo Bills. I'm currently building their stadium with my company. I'm not going to say the company's name for disclosed reasons, but this week the Buffalo Bills also made another huge announcement when they signed Gable Steveson to a contract.
It's never played football before.
This man has never played football, but he wrestled for the University of Minnesota. He was in the WWE. He did a couple spots here and there. I mean, he didn't really wrestle too much, but I mean, he was.
What is he
was
doing for
contracted.
them? He's never played football before. What is he doing?
I think he's just a freak athlete, and wherever he best fits, they're gonna put him.
He's going to be a defensive lineman.
This is
Defensive line
bizarre.
what he's going to
This
play.
is absolutely bizarre. This is absolutely ridiculous. The guy has never played
Brock
football.
Lesnar got signed to Minnesota. He didn't play.
All right.
I think it's practice squad at best. I don't think he's.
Yeah, I don't get it. I listen. I'm all the best to you. I hope I'm wrong, but if you've never played as a sport before, I don't know how you're playing on a professional football team.
There's a chance he doesn't even make the active roster.
It is Buffalo we're talking about too.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good, but they have no money. They're out of money. So
out of money.
Shout out Dallas. Their salary cap situation is pretty fucking terrible.
Shout out. I like the sound of that.
Shout out San Francisco. This isn't a demographic, but they just signed McCaffrey to a restructured contract. They signed Juwan Jennings to a 2-year extension. Once they get Brandon Ayuk signed, I'm going to be a happy man. All right, back to the demographic. Number 4 for this week. Last week, June 7th, was the final day of Pat Sajak recording The Wheel of Fortune. This man has been there for my entire life. And
most of my life too,
like
Devyn.
double your life.
Yeah, most of my life too. He made a lot of fucking money. Pardon the language. I don't know why I had to use the F-bomb there, of all places. But I have not said it today, but I said it there. But it was a lot of money. And what an easy-ass job. Like,
Vanna White did all the work.
After a while, she didn't even turn those letters anymore, though. She just touched them.
True.
I don't know. Good for him, man. Congratulations. Bring on Ryan. Seacrest, that is.
Seacrest, he's taking over.
That's what I read.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Breaking news here on the demographic.
It's either him or Tom Holland.
No, it's Ryan Seacrest.
Could be Aaron Rodgers.
I was kidding about Tom Holland.
That'd be awesome. He come out like Bane.
You
thirsty there, Devyn? Are you?
Absolutely. Number 5 this week for my demographic, my 5th and final demographic. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check out Maven Hoffman's YouTube because he was the winner of WWE's Tough Enough. And his YouTube's pretty amazing. Like I've been watching quite a bit of it, and I'm entertained. He recently had Devon Dudley on there, and they talked about the mass transit incident. And they went pretty in depth because Devon was mass transit's tag team partner at the time. So I think you should check that out on YouTube if none of you guys have before.
Interesting.
Yeah, but shout out to Maven.
Shout out.
And that is my demographic for this week. So back to you, James.
Hell yeah, good stuff. Dug that demographic. You know, it was good. It was good that you swung it around there because everybody loves a little comeback. And Brad, it looks like the comeback is next on the outline. So can't wait to see what this is.
So as we know, Drew McIntyre, let's face it, he was down and out, but he made a huge comeback and became the WWE champion. So let's talk about some other famous comebacks, okay? Let's talk about athletes that made a big comeback. How about Lance Armstrong? Cancer. Came back. Won the Tour de France. How about George Foreman? Came back for what reason? To raise money for a charity. And what'd he do? Win the freaking championship. And how about James J. Braddock, another champion, heavyweight champion of the world, that was down and out on welfare and came back and won the world heavyweight champion. But I want to know from you guys, who was the greatest comeback of the three?
Ezekiel Elliott coming back for the Cowboys this season.
What are you doing there, Adam?
Roman coming back.
He's not an option.
He is not. Probably Lance Armstrong, because that's the only one I know.
You don't know the Cinderella
I know Cinderella, yeah.
Cinderella Man movie?
Oh, no. I've heard of it.
All right, so I'm just going to say this off. You got to see it. You just have to see it.
Okay. But
Okay,
Lance
you have to
Armstrong.
see it. Devyn, what do you think?
What was number 2?
George Foreman? He's known for some grills.
Yeah, I absolutely think it's George Foreman's for me. George Foreman, I'm pretty familiar with his story, and his movie just came out like last year, and I remember watching that. George Foreman, he was one of those historic guys where he was the world heavyweight champion and then devoted himself to God. Like completely wanted to change everything that he did in his life. But then when his family completely needed money and his community needed money, he had only one way to raise it. And that was going back to what he was truly best at, and that was boxing. So I think his comeback was pretty historic, and I'm gonna pick him.
All right. James?
Foreman. I'm gonna go with the same thing. The fact that he came in, and I think it was like 42 or something when he came back to do that heavyweight boxing match. Ended up fucking, winning it. Like, that's pretty intense. Because, out of the game, especially in a physical combat sport like that, to come back in as an old man, and not get your bell rung and all that stuff, but to come back and win it, like, that's pretty legit. I like that one.
So I wasn't born yet, but I have seen Cinderella Man, and I also read the book, and I've also seen the documentary. This man was a contender for the championship, James J. Braddock, and hurt his hand. So he went from having money to just wrestling for 20, 50, 30 bucks. Now, this is during the Depression, and was on welfare, and then was told he couldn't fight anymore because he got hurt, and they kicked him out altogether. So now he's on welfare, panhandling, trying to get shifts at the local yard, and not getting picked. Kids. Then his electric gets turned off, and then he, like I said, he begs for money. He gets an opportunity again because they said one night only. You're going to fight just fight for a couple $100, and then he wins out of nowhere. He's not supposed to win, and then he wins again, and then he wins again, and then he wins the championship. And he was still living in this little shack. And then after he wins the championship, what does he do? He goes and fights in World War II. I don't think there's any more of a person to look up to as a father, as an athlete, and as an American than James J. Braddock. So that's my pick. And if you have not seen the movie Cinderella Man, you have to. And it is, from what I'm told, true. A true story. It's not like sensationalized, but just one. Yeah, I mean, like Rudy. That nobody put their jerseys down and weren't going to play. They were all playing that game. Okay. And guess what? The coach was putting them in. They made him a villain in that movie. The coach was playing him. He never said no. Dan Devyn was made to be a villain. He's a real person. And everybody's like, what an asshole you are. But he wasn't ever doing that. Got to have a villain now. All right. Just one more, guys. This is the NFL comebacks. The best NFL comeback game. I have 3 of them. And James, I don't know if you're going to like any of them.
Ezekiel Elliott with the Cowboys.
There's their actual games.
Oh.
Okay. The Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Oilers, wild card 1993. The Houston Oilers were up 35-3 at half, and the Buffalo Bills came back to win 41-38. Second game, New England versus Atlanta, Super Bowl 51. Atlanta up 28-9 at halftime, but Tom Brady wasn't going to have it, and they win the game. The New England Patriots, 34-28. And finally, James' favorite game of all time, I'm sure, Eagles-Giants, 2010. Now, this is just a regular season game. The Giants are up 31-10 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game. And the Eagles come back to win 38-31 with Deshaun Jackson's Punt return for the win.
The one that bounces, and then he just picks it up. Like,
8 minutes to go in the game. It is 31-10. What
I just
the
remember the
fuck are you
announcers.
doing?
I didn't remember the announcers. All you gotta do is punt it out of bounds. Do
Ah.
not punt it to Deshaun. And then Deshaun's just like standing back there, and it bounces. And it's like, oh, he's letting it bounce. So this is gonna be a bad return. And he just picks it up. That little fast motherfucker. Yow.
So spoiler, that's my favorite. I'm picking that one. Did you hear him, Adam?
No.
New England versus Atlanta, Super Bowl 51. They were up 28-9 Atlanta, and then they lose 34-28. Buffalo Bills, Houston Oilers, wild card 1993. Houston up 35-3. They lose 41-38. And the Eagles Giants 2010. Giants up 31-10 with 8 minutes to go. Eagles win 38-31. What is your greatest upset? What is the greatest comeback?
Out of those three, the Giants over the Eagles, over the Patriots.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Because this is the Patriots, and I love Anthony Powers, but no Pats.
All right.
No Giants.
Never.
But how about an honorable mention? How about when the Auburn player catches the field goal at the 9 yards and
I'll never
runs
forget
it
that.
from 9 yards deep into the end zone, runs 109 yards and wins the game with 1 second
Incredible.
left.
Incredible.
Shout out Chris Davis.
Yes, honorable mention.
Devin, what do you got?
So the Patriots coming back against the Falcons. At the time, it was hysterical. Now it was my head coach that took that loss, Kyle Shanahan. So it kind of hurts to watch that. Like, he couldn't have got a first down and just won that game. But no, it's happened too many times, so I don't like that one. But you're talking about the miracle at the Meadowlands when Mike Vick led that Eagles team over the Giants. Anytime I can see the Giants lose, that brings joy to my face. Living up here in New York, there are so many just stupid Giants fans. They're New York's team. They play in freaking New Jersey. They're not even New York's team. So
Yeah, really.
get out of here. Anytime the Giants lose, I'm going to go with that. So shout out Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson. Just punt the ball out of bounds.
Miracle in the Meadowlands. That's the greatest thing about that is that that's their place and it's called that. They must hate that.
And the other choice, really quick, just because I want to touch on it, that pass was not a backwards pass on that kick return for a touchdown. It was definitely forward.
Shout out.
Seen the 30 for 30 on it.
They don't have enough of those. All right, James, you're up.
Let's see. Not picking the Eagles or Giants.
I figured that.
I do remember watching the Super Bowl when the Patriots started to come back, and my mom, like, you know, she's a Cowboys fan, obviously, but like, you know, fair weather at best. And she's just like, when they scored that first touchdown coming back, she's like, oh, Tom Brady's gonna come back and win this. I'm not watching this. Like she got disgusted at the fact that the Patriots are probably gonna come back and win. Like, she was legit pissed, you know? And she doesn't really, like, she follows the Cowboys, but she doesn't really, like, follow the Cowboys or NFL. But the fact that she was like, oh, I'm not watching this. Nope. I was like, man, like, it's two teams we don't give a shit about. But she's just like, nope, they're going to let Tom come back and win it. I'm not watching this. But it was the fact that they were going for, I think, more Super Bowls than the Cowboys had at that time. So she was pretty upset.
Nobody was rooting for the Patriots. Nobody. Except for Anthony Powers.
I will say that Mark Reich, the comeback with a second string quarterback, that's probably going to be my choice because the fact he was a second string quarterback and came back and won. And in the playoffs, a second stringer comes in, you're down 35-3 or some shit like that, and a second string quarterback comes in and wins in the playoffs. That's pretty impressive.
Listen, there's a lot of great comebacks. I picked 3, but great pick.
We're going for Frank Reich, not Mark there, buddy.
Frank Reich.
Well, look who's here. That's it, guys. That was fun. Back to you, James.
All right. Well, you know what else is fun? Next week's topic. So what are we doing next week?
So he's been in the news a little bit lately. Let's talk about the greatest calls of all time. Who's the greatest announcer of all time, James? The greatest wrestling announcer of all time.
I mean, you got to go with Jim Ross, I would assume.
All right. So Jim Ross it is. So let's talk about what he's done lately. He's been in the news a little bit because he's had some health problems. So we are wishing him a speedy recovery, of course. It's probably going to be his last year to year and a half in the business, I would imagine. However, he has recently been in the news because Missy Hyatt and him have recently come out that they once dated. And she said that Jim Ross rocked her world.
My man.
And I'm going to say this. He's been rocking our world in the announcing game for many, many years. So we are going to cover 2 matches next week that totally rocked the wrestling world. The 2 matches that Jim Ross called. The first one, maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't, but it is a great match. It is Jeff Hardy versus The Undertaker, July 1st, 2002 Raw. And guess what?
Yes!
The greatest Jim Ross call of all time also includes The Undertaker, but it includes another man named Mick Foley, and we are going to cover that match. Hell in a Cell. The Hell in a Cell match from King of the Ring, Mankind versus Taker, the greatest Jim Ross call of all time.
As God
is my witness, he's broken in half. And I don't know why I did that like I don't know why I did that like Vince McMahon, but I did.
Oh no, WrestleMania 14, he was good.
Oh yeah, but we've unfortunately already covered that match.
I thought we done Hell
Climb
in a
the
Cell
ladder,
yet, too,
kid,
though.
and make yourself famous.
What was that, Adam?
We haven't done Hell in a Cell yet?
No, we have not. I have
Wow.
confirmed it with our producer who has a spreadsheet. So
We try to
anyway,
steer away from the ultra popular matches because you only get one chance to cover them and stuff. So
I just thought with him in the news and with Missy Hyatt said that made my day, and it was today.
We should have done one Jim Ross, one Missy Hyatt.
I thought you were going to cover Jim Ross like wrestling matches, and I was like, boy, can't wait to not talk about this.
So anyway, I hope everybody's looking forward to next week because I sure as hell am. Back to you, James.
Iconic calls for sure. It seems like we did a little climbing of the ladder on this episode, trying to make ourselves famous, and hopefully, none of you got broken in half by laughing so hysterically at the fun we had today. Right? Yeah. It's a skill, ladies and gentlemen. It's a skill. You're welcome. But yeah, anybody got anything else to say? Are we wrapping it up time?
It's go time, baby.
It's go
Adam's
time.
got a starter to put in.
Yeah, really.
Well, shout out to, I hope Mike feels better. Even without Mike, we still pushing 2 hours. So, shout out to us. No matter what the situation is, it seems like we always go around, 2 hours.
Well, we know who to blame for that, don't we?
Yeah, Brad, always.
It's always your fault.
But no, I had a good episode. Had a fun time. Always enjoy doing these episodes. Glad to kick it with everybody. Hope everybody listening has a fun time. Obviously, hope you join us next week. And, why not, baby? Because JR, he's had some troubles. He's had some issues. And guess what? He ain't giving up. He still wants to be back on TV. Hell, he was at the pay-per-view not that long ago. You know how he got to that pay-per-view? He didn't let his ails and his worries and his troubles pin him down. No. He kicked out at 2. That's what we do. That's what you do. And that's pretty much the basis of this show. Your show. It's the Kickout Crew. So hope everybody has a great week. Can't wait to see you next week. Love Jim Ross calls, so this is going to be fun. And I guess that's it. So goodbye. Obligatory Mike quote.
Run.